Hey guys, I'm Becky from Bookmarks and welcome to my vlog and review for the Rebound. First, I want to say a very big thank you to Espresso Book Tours for sending me this book for review. And that book is The Rebound by Lynn Stevens. I am so very excited to start this book. I honestly do not remember requesting it, but apparently I did. I did see that Espresso was doing a blog tour for this book, and I wanted to get it, and then I decided not to, that I would just pick it up on my own. And then I got an email that said I was accepted to review it. So apparently at some point I changed my mind and decided to try for it, and I did get it, which I'm very, very excited about. This book was recently published in December, I believe, and it is currently available on Kindle Unlimited. Now, if you do not have Kindle Unlimited, it is only $2.99 to purchase. I will, of course, have purchase links in the description box, but now let's go ahead and talk about what this book is about. First, I want to mention that this is technically part of a series called Girls of Summer. This is technically book 2, but the books can be read in any order from what I'm gathering and at least hoping, because I have not read book 1. In this story, we meet Rachel Westbrook. She has it all: looks, money, prestige, but what she does not have is a good reputation. She is known as the Rebound Girl. Her friend Vicky proposes a blind date with a boy named Adam, and Rachel is very excited about it. She thinks that this is her opportunity to finally have a real relationship. But unfortunately, while on their date, she notices Adam checking out his ex-girlfriend, and Rachel knows how this game goes. She is used to being the Rebound Girl, so she knows the role that she has to play. However, Adam does not want Rachel to be his Rebound Girl. He wants to help her out, change her reputation, and they decide to have a fake relationship until they can both move on. Of course, Rachel ends up starting to fall for a guy who is totally unavailable, and unbeknownst to her, Adam is starting to share things with her and find out things about her, and he doesn't know whether it's part of the game or if it is real. Eventually, Rachel must find out if this relationship is real or just another rebound. I personally absolutely love fake relationship stories. I think they make for great tension. I cannot wait. I'm sure this book is just going to be full of hijinks. I'm really hoping that it's also funny. I can see how it could go south and be really cringy, but I'm hoping that that is not going to be the case in this book. I'm very, very excited to start this. So the plan today is to start reading this book and to update you guys throughout my reading process and tell you how I'm liking it. At the end, I will have a full review and my star rating. Now, for full transparency, before I can start reading today, I do have some delicious McDonald's to eat. I have not had McDonald's in quite some time, and I'm very excited to dive into that. I also need to edit a video really quick, so I'm going to do these two things, and then we will get into reading, which I am so freaking excited about. Hey guys, so I have finally started reading. I'm only on chapter 2, so I've only read one chapter so far. So the entire book is only 192 pages, and chapter 1 is 9 pages long. In chapter 1, we are immediately thrown right into the story, and we are walking at the carnival to go and meet this blind date with Adam. So the entire synopsis of this book happens in chapter 1. So they go on the blind date, meet each other, decide to do this fake relationship, and that is chapter 1. So on one hand, I'm really excited because that means we have basically an entire book for this relationship to progress, which means it shouldn't be insta-love. They are very attracted to each other, but I don't think it's going to be insta-love. And I think it's a lot of time to possibly have like a very slow burn romance, which I'm very excited about. It drives me crazy, but I do enjoy a slow burn. We'll have to see where this goes. I'm very excited. I can't believe that the entire synopsis happened in chapter 1. I was expecting like chapter 1 would be learning about her and why she has this reputation, then meeting this friend, making the plan of having a blind date, and then maybe by chapter 3 we'd be going on the blind date, but no. It all happened in 9 pages, so we'll have to see how the rest of this book turns out. I'm currently 30% of the way through this book, and so far, I'm not liking it as much as I thought I would be by now. So our main character, Rachel, is kind of a bitch. She's just very, I would say, fake, because she doesn't let anybody see what's really going on with her. She doesn't have a single person in her life that she is honest with. She claims she has these great friends, but they all seem really superficial, and even she doesn't tell them the truth of what's going on. I just feel really, really bad for her, but at the same time, she is not the nicest person right now, and she's just very complicated. I feel like she does a lot of things just for the drama. I'm just not really sold by her. I feel so bad because she has so many things going on in her life and she has no one to talk to, so I understand why she is the way that she is. And she is in this fake relationship with Adam. She's trying to keep him at a distance because she doesn't want to get real feelings, but she's starting to have them anyways. I was also expecting this to have alternating chapters between the two characters, and it is not. It is just told from Rachel's point of view, which is fine. It's just usually in this kind of scenario, there usually are alternating chapters, so I think it would have been a nice little bonus. I also think that it's a little weird because I did go ahead and download the Kindle Unlimited version, and I find it weird that there are some typos within that version as well, even though it's supposed to be like the finished product. I'm not that big of a stickler for typos and like the wrong word or sentences not really making sense when it comes to books that have been sent to me for review, because I'm expecting that. I think it's a little weird that's in the Kindle Unlimited version, but I'm thinking that this probably wasn't a traditionally published book. I'm not one that really pays attention to publishers or whether or not it was self-published, so I don't really know. I'm guessing that's probably the case. Otherwise, it is very interesting. I mean, I'm only 30% of the way through, so I don't want to judge this book too harshly, but these are just my initial thoughts that I'm getting so far. I'm definitely going to keep going. I'm hoping that it gets better and that we get to learn more about our characters, because right now we know like little to nothing about both of our characters. It's all just very, very on the surface and superficial, and I'm hoping that it's going to really kick off and become a deeper story. I really want Rachel to kind of put herself out there and finally have somebody that she can talk to, because she has all these people in her life and not a single one of them knows the real Rachel. But now I'm gonna get back to reading. Hey guys, it is the next day. I did end up finishing this book last night, and did I like it? Kind of. It's a little bit complicated. So overall, I do think that it was a pretty good story. I definitely felt for our main character, like I've already mentioned. My biggest problem though was that this book felt very superficial and very surface. Like, I feel like we really didn't dive into our characters and get to know them enough. Now, this is a shorter book, but I don't think that that is a good enough excuse for why we really didn't get to know these characters. Like, to be honest, I know nothing about Adam. I do not know anything about his family. We never even met anybody from his family. We don't know who his friends are. Don't think that they go to the same school. I think they go to two separate schools, but it was unclear of how the two really knew each other, and yeah, it was just very complicated and not really well thought out. On the other hand, I think we learned enough about Rachel in order to care about her. I just don't feel like we got enough to really fall in love with her character and to root for her. I just feel like the entire time I just felt really bad for her. I did really like the emotions that this book elicited from me. There were times where I did end up crying, and it is towards the end. However, I just felt like, again, it was all very, very surface, and we never really dug down into these characters. I will also warn you that at the end we do have some insta-love. I think that their relationship was very, very complicated. I think that they just really were never on board with what they agreed to. They both agreed to this fake relationship. Rachel honestly didn't want that. It wasn't the intention that she went into the first date with Adam, and so I knew that she wasn't really into it. I don't know, it just kind of bothered me that they both were very jealous and kind of controlling, really weren't okay with the whole fake relationship, even though that's what they agreed on. I just really didn't care for it, and I just wish that maybe this book was a little bit more lighthearted. The topics that we deal with are pretty heavy, and it's just not exactly what I was thinking of, and for it to be such a darker subject, I think that we should have gotten a lot more out of it than what we did. I just don't really care about these characters. I don't really like them as people. Again, I do feel like the page count played a factor into this a little bit, because I feel like our author was trying to do so much but had such a limited amount of time that she wasn't able to fully flesh anything out. But at the same time, I don't credit that as an excuse, because I have read short stories that are like 50 pages that give me so much more character development than this book did. So with all that being said, I think I'm gonna give this book 3 out of 5 stars. I am kind of leaning towards more like a 2.5 to a 2-star, but because it did elicit a very raw and emotional response to me by what happens at the end, like I was literally crying at the end for something that happens to Rachel. Because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up to a 3-star, because I feel like if a book can make me cry, that it kind of saves face a little bit. It just was not enough to really impress me, and it kind of just underwhelmed me. It was all just very flat and surface level of getting to know these characters. I think that Rachel's kind of growth was honestly not so genuine. It happens very, very quickly and just feels like wishful thinking on her end. Like she wants to be this better person, but is she going to really be? I personally don't think so. I don't think that this was a bad book, but it's not something that I would recommend to people. It just isn't something that I would think of when somebody's looking for a book. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you loved it and you want to see more bookish content from me, please hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified as soon as my videos go live here on YouTube, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!